A very warm welcome back to the grand finale of ESL One Katowice 2018. ViCi Gaming going head-to-head with Virtus.pro, and it's Virtus.pro who have a 2-0 lead right now. Can they convert and make it 3-0? I'm sure most of the crowd here inside the Spodek Arena are hoping for exactly that, but ViCi Gaming are made of stern stuff. We shall get into game number 3 very shortly, but first, just a quick reminder for you, we've got the Play Faster moment by Vodafone to come this evening, as well as the MVPs. Be interested to see what actually wins that Play Faster moment. Maybe one of these teams is going to just storm roll through and it'll be a fast game, or maybe there'll be an Aegis steal on it, or maybe it'll be Alan's favourite play of the day. We'll find out that a little bit later on. We're going to get into draft number 3. We're back at the panel once more with Nahaz, with Purge, and with Capitalist. I don't know why I keep saying Purged. I think you should change your name, obviously.
Yeah. More consonants?
I guess. I don't know.
Also demanding.
Are we ready for game 3? Because we are on the verge of crowning a champion right now, and that doesn't seem to compute. I thought this was going to be a tight series.
I mean, I think the real question is, are ViCi Gaming ready for game 3? Because in some ways, it seems like the series hasn't even started yet.
It feels like that 2-game series was one game of strategy kind of developed, and I feel like ViCi is going to be kicking themselves a bit for letting the gyro through again.
Okay, so you think that third time's the charm? Get rid of it, break it up, do whatever you need to do, just get it out of there.
VP is going to stick on their path, and they'll see if ViCi change anything up, because I think VP can win with what they did.
I mean, one of the things that I'll flag as well is that we had the stat earlier where I believe it was like 57 or something out of 60, no, 54 out of 60 where teams had opted for first pick with selection priority. VP have now opted for Radiant twice in 3 games, giving away first pick to ViCi Gaming. And again, picking that very powerful 2-hero reply, the Gyro Omni 2 games in a row. We're going to see, I believe we're going to see VP with second pick again here.
Yeah, very interesting. Little nuances.
I wonder why that is.
But you know what's cool about that is what it also tells your opponent, you're like, we don't care about first pick, even though every team cares about first pick. So and then you got your 2 picks, they pick the same 2 picks. Come on, ViCi can figure that out. It just comes down to, do they think that they can beat it?
All right, here we go. Drafts are on the way. Drafts is on the way, and same bans.
No, there's an Omni ban, you guys.
Oh, there is an Omni. Sorry, you're right.
Okay,
that's me being blind from a long way away.
Well, the Gyro is still there in the pool, and in fact, okay, so the Sand King's out.
So Tusk opener to guarantee lanes. That's what they opened with last game. That was fine.
Yeah.
And VP's gonna have to do something new.
So they're gonna get Chen this time around?
Yep.
And they're going to get
the Gyro.
I mean, it's, you know it's gonna be Gyro. Interesting to me though. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the Keeper of the Light, and again, big tempo controlling hero. Neither of these teams having any interest in the Tiny.
Yeah.
This is the first two games of the final, and these are the first 2 games of the tournament. The Tiny's gotten all the way through the draft.
Yep. I kept waiting for it. Good Beastmaster ban from Virtus.pro. I was just about to say, this is going to be ViCi Gaming's attempt to counter the Chen. So they're like, okay, they look through their, I don't know, maybe Mikasa looked through his book of strategies and he was like, all right, which one are we going to be taking here? We're going to bait out what hero and what strategy is it going to be? And here it's the Chen counter to the Keeper of the Light. And then they're going to try and get some sort of like very strong lane. Make sure that Virtus.pro can't run that aggro Roger plus Pasha in-your-face situation.
ViCi forced a ban on Night Stalker, since it could heavily undermine Keeper of the Light's benefits with Ags. I feel like I see it banned so often, I want to see like one game where it gets stomped by Night Stalker, just to see, like, does this still work, guys? It's been a while.
People didn't stop banning.
I'd be down for it. Night Stalker like him for VP. Let's go. Surely they were going to have a ban on the Terrorblade, right?
That's the thing. VP have really exploited the fact that ViCi Gaming don't really run the TB.
Yeah, sorry, I meant for ViCi Gaming.
Yeah.
Since,
oh yeah, I mean, we know Ramses plays it.
It's actually a big loss for ViCi that not only did they not play Chen, but also TB.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking more and more as I'm watching these drafts, is that VP are just exploiting these holes. That's the one thing that's very, very hard to fix during a tournament, is to address the holes in your hero pool.
I mean, I'm sure they could go play some pub games, but it's very different from practicing the strat with your team, finding the holes within that same tournament. especially when you're worried about teams maybe talking.
Yeah, probably thinking about the, oh, there goes the Tiny. Okay. And now you wonder if they're going to go the Witch Doctor this time instead of the Disruptor, third pick.
Well, VP's early game is really good right now.
Yeah.
Got relatively good push too. I think Tiny would have worked here just because of the Caudal, I guess. He's very low HP. So definitely one place where Tiny shines.
I mean, this historically would be where ViCi Gaming would pick up the Death Prophet in the draft, but you got to feel like that tune is one they've played one too many times.
I'm not sure. I feel like you still grab it myself.
Oh.
But maybe they want something that has better teamfight and late game. That's maybe one place VP's lacking a little right now. Or they get delayed until they know that the matchup's a little better, I suppose. I don't think VP will grab it themselves. I guess they could. They probably have. But.
Yeah, okay, so this is the other, you go back a little bit. The other weakness in ViCi Gaming Serial Pool is that they do not have many flex picks. This is one of the few that we'll see Ori run this in the mid lane. You saw a couple games in Captain's Draft where he played that very, very well. And 11 will occasionally play that in the off lane. So this is one of the few paths that ViCi have to let their draft remain open to this point.
5 seconds remaining.
Definitely like it. It's effective against Witch Doctor. If you get maledicted, you can actually escape without getting right-click 6 times as you retreat. And it's definitely a little hard for Chen to gank him as well, so it kind of covers both bases.
Yeah, but now you worry about VP taking up the Death Prophet themselves, benefiting from that long duration silence against the puck.
It would certainly fit their draft. Makes their push a little better. I think lane-wise, it would be punishable, especially against a Tusk, is one of the big negatives. So Chen can't really move around the map as fast. Witch Doctor can lane rotate, I suppose, but I could see some vulnerability there.
I don't know, I feel like Death Prophet's actually pretty playable against the Tusk. Oh, wow.
That's a core Jakiro.
That is...
Somebody's going to say that's a nice macro power. I know the cat.
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
that,
dude.
Look at that macro pyre.
Oh my god.
How many times have we heard that the last two tournaments?
Yeah,
Paul?
too many. And no one's ever said that in a game I've ever played a Jakiro in.
There's a lot of sounds from ads here that are stuck in my brain forever.
I guess they're working then, Kevin.
That's right.
What's going on?
Call Jakiro, buddy.
Well,
Yeah, sure. But
Yes.
like, why?
Okay, all right.
What's the point of
You've seen,
Look,
you've seen the clip, right? You get
I
a
feel
Void
like
chrono.
if you treat these drafts as like a conversation, I feel like this is the biggest challenge that Virtus.pro's been issuing. We know you don't play Terrorblade. And we're finally going to come back, and we're going to see this paparazzi Terrorblade here.
I think he's good enough to handle it, no problem. I guess it's more, is their team familiar with playing around it, I suppose. I think Jakiro is a decent solution against it. Tons of attack speed reduction, and when you're a core, you're going to max dual breath really early, you're going to get a lot of liquid fire, and that means TB, I don't even think I care if he sunders. If he's got like minus 80 attack speed, minus 90 attack speed by 15 minutes, he's probably not going to be able to deal that much damage.
Yeah,
They've played Terrorblade 4 times in the last 4 months. The last one of those was a month ago against VGJ Thunder, and they've lost 3 of the 4.
Right. Their TB, for whatever reason, they just don't look comfortable playing around the hero.
And like VP might just all in push basically. Like core Jakiro certainly gives you that option. If
It
they
does.
win the early game, it's going to be a 15-minute Rax.
Maybe. Now, I mean, the Coddle does give you at least some relief of the pressure there, the ability to keep those lanes pushed out, but again, VP have just been playing so fast that if you just get on top of the Coddle and kill him, okay, nice Illuminate, bro.
That was a good point though, because if Coddle sits in base, they've got Ice Shards, Illuminate, and Puck Orb. So it's fairly safe to clear creep waves. Maybe comes down to the Chen then. So Death Prophet being out, Void is being out. They've also seen the advertisement.
Don't they need a frontliner for VP?
Yeah.
They do, but
Like a Dusa or something?
yeah, that's the thing. There are just plenty of options left in the pool. Right. You could even. Nah, you don't brood here, but
I don't think you do so. I think they're going to put Jakiro mid, I assume. Maybe not now, I guess, against Puck, but
I actually think Deuce is fine.
5 seconds remaining.
Tell you what they have played with a couple of these. He's a sniper, but they're going to
Oh,
get
they're
through.
going to brood. Oh, jeez. I mean,
Okay. Well, if you want to win a game 3 in the grand final when you're 2-0 up, why the hell not, right?
okay. Out of the brood drafts that we've seen in this tournament, I do think ViCi have the draft to deal with this, right? At least if they can survive the first few minutes of the laning phase, they got plenty of AOE. I don't think the brood is quite as game-winning a pick here, but man, that if you can survive the first 6 minutes is a big proviso.
Yeah. Do you want to know the last time Virtus.pro lost a match with the Brood?
It's been like 6 months.
2015.
Okay, that's longer than 6 months, Paul.
It's been a while. So, gents, with that information equipped, which way are you going, Kat?
Oh, you're going to start with me? I literally, you notice I didn't talk at all during that draft because I had no idea what the hell was going on. Jakiro just threw me for such a loop.
Jakiro, great hero.
Oh, they have a fast lineup. With the core Jakiro and a Gyrocopter and a Broodmother, they win lanes, they push towers. Maybe that's good enough to be able to beat out Terrorblade's timings. Sure. Go VP.
Okay.
Very confident. I'm gonna also go with VP. I think they're on the roll. They can do this.
Okay.
This is just VP all the way. If you see how they played in the first couple of games, this lineup is just so good for them.
All right.
Y'all are confident as hell. I like it. I chose the right team. Excellent.
It's a clean sweep on the panel right now. They've all gone for Virtus.pro. The crowd have gone for Virtus.pro. Basically, everything is against ViCi Gaming you could possibly imagine. And then they get a Brood to play against in game 3 of the grand final. Let's see how they get on. Our commentary team are ready. Are you ready? Let's find out.
Game 3, Virtus.pro versus ViCi Gaming. We can go straight into the game right now because we do not stop. The hype will always continue. If ViCi Gaming could try and turn around what looks to be a whitewash, but they're up against the absolute, well, dick of this tournament. It's the Broodmother. I wanted a better way to actually describe him, but there is actually no better way to describe her, I should say, which is the Broodmother.
And especially like this time, you know, ViCi, they were prepared the last 2 times. They're like, all right, let's ban the Brood. We'll ban the Brood again. Oh God, we forgot about the Brood this time. They were so prioritized on their draft, but they do have some tools to be able to take it. We've seen them actually take it versus a Brood as well. We saw Liquids get taken out by that heavy team fight that ViCi executed, but this one does look a bit scary. There is an incredible amount of push on VP.
Hey, at least this time they're not going to lose all the bounty runes. It's going to be 3 going the way of ViCi Gaming, so no early advantage for all the supports of Virtus.pro. Hey, things are possible, man. Things are possible. We saw Team Liquid do this against Optic Gaming. That was Optic Gaming.
And it was a Terrorblade and a Coddle that were the heroes that dealt with the Brood. They were able to stall it long enough.
It was, and then the Batrider's not too bad either. Puck has a good some AoE clearance, so does Lanham. Lanham's actually doing this fun little thing where we're now playing Igloos, just hiding the creep wave back as close to the tower as possible.
Yeah, because they have Chen, so they want to try to match the Chen who sends the creeps home. The Tusk can counteract that a bit with the Ice Shards to get it closer to your tower. Yeah, not so great, though, because Chen is just the master of that right now.
This Chen is always so problematic, too. Like, you talk about like him influencing like the lane equilibrium on the top, but it's also the fact he can be so aggressive. And ViCi Gaming, how they react to this, they started with 3 heroes, making sure there was no quick fighter. He just... Okay.
He's just sending the creeps home.
Yeah, he's sending a melee creep home. I'm like, okay. I thought for a moment he was misclicking Pasha so he can TP back out again. But yeah, Fender is TP down to the bottom lane to try and help out 11.
Yeah, they want to just pressure this Gyrocopter, who's been pretty much the biggest concern for them in the last 2 games, going combined with 20-1 or 22-1. I'm not even too sure. No one had some impeccable performances in the last 2 games.
Oh, Paparazzi's having a real hard time up on top lane. Pasha's got Breathe Fire in 2 seconds time, but with the Metamorphosis, Pasha's... Like, it was meant to be Terrorblade who had the advantage when he triggers this, but Pasha... I always loved flagging Jakiro as one of the highest strength gaining support heroes in the matchup in the game. But
it's like Bane, Ogre, and Jakiro, I'm pretty sure, are the 3 like highest int heroes with strength. And this is what happens with Chen too. You get that early level 2, so you can put that pressure. You get very fast levels as your offlaner.
A good lane for ViCi Gaming has actually been this mid. The fact that Ori is getting a lot more out from the Broodmother, 11-4 versus the 5-0 Broodmother. This will obviously change once the Soul Ring spam starts coming the way of Ori, but Ori just really trying to stick it to Ramses.
You can tell he's a bit frustrated and angry after that last game. He wants to take it back to him. 19-4 last hits. A couple of those are spiders, but
yeah, but it still affects the net worth. Oh, Paparazzi, the dual breath connected once more. Back into the trees. Lanham's come to help out, but it's just a become a buffer. So the net worth's actually sitting at about 1650 versus the just over 1K, the 1100 for Ramses.
Yeah,
So Ori's still getting good money out of this lane.
he's gone for the zero phase shift build too, so he can actually clear out the spiders. That's why you see him getting all those extra last hits.
Yep. And he'd be
2-2.
even more aggressive when you grab that 2-minute regeneration rune Lanham, putting down the shards up on top. Support wants to rotate in. They've still got the Centaur from Roger, giving support to Pasha. So it's hard to initiate.
I can't believe how incredibly well Ori's doing in the mid lane, though. He's got a full level advantage over Ramses right now.
Full level, 800 net worth in front. The Terrorblade's getting good farm as well, 15-3. Shards out once more, but unable to block in Pasha. Haven't actually felt like the overwhelming power of Roger on this top lane yet.
It's all about once he gets to level 3 in particular. If he doesn't have like those shard golems to get those kill threats.
They're going on bottom lane. Maledict is up. Fenrir wants to try and help out, but really 11. He turns forward to try and go towards no one down at the trees. The Maledict will pop him here. It's a level 1 only, but the damage is more than enough. So Solo will get the kill. Fenrir maybe able to get a rebuttal, but with that 1 point up in Voodoo Restoration, Solo, not only does he dodge the Illuminate, but he also gains more life back towards both no one and himself. Meaning Fenrir cannot get the rebuttal. Top lane shards, Lanham looking for the defense. The dual breath is already connected with the clap. Lanham will fall. All I have to do is just say, haven't really felt VP's influence, and hey, I'm feeling VP's influence.
Yeah. The Chen with Penitence, you get out of position. Jakiro does a pretty ridiculous amount of damage. You don't see it too often in the core role. But when you do get your levels so quickly, your spells do add up very quickly.
I think Nox is going to have fun one with these type of stats later on. We have one for Broodmother, but Ori's now at 47 CS, 4.5 minutes into the game. Yeah, a lot of them have been spiders, but it just shows you his unbridled aggression against the Broodmother.
Already level 6 at the almost level 7 at the 4.5 minute mark on this puck.
That's so much experience. Like normally you don't even think about how much you gain in the first 5 minutes when you think about like experience as well as net worth. But in this case, it just shows you just how much he's getting out of Ramses. And Ramses is bailing out. He's gone towards the jungle. It's the safe lane farming.
I want to rewatch that whole lane to see how he did so damn well. He pretty much has a Veil finished up on the puck. It's 5 minutes in.
Yep. 10 CS a minute. Fenrir is on the run. Maledict as well as the homing missile. It's a level 1 missile. It's not a lot of damage.
Solo.
That's why Solo is just going in so deep. He may need just one more attack to tick Fenrir out, and he knows it. But Solo, the Illuminate spam. Fenrir will get a rebuttal. He'll get no experience for it, however. And they actually moved 11 to the top lane. I don't know if that was exactly the timing they wanted to have this happen.
He wants to make sure that Paparazzi can farm. He doesn't want him to get pressured here, is what I read from that move from 11, because he cleared one of his big stacks, and then he instantly went toward the top lane.
This is also something, too, we saw Liquid prioritize when they went against the Broodmother having the coddle, that they actually let GH get a lot of extra farm and levels on that off lane. Just let him defend with the Illuminate spam and gain in higher levels, because you need the 3, 4 levels obviously going to be the better to defend against the Broodmother. It was a different scenario because it wasn't a mid-brood, it was an off-lane brood. So it's a little bit more defense to fight, like trees to hide in.
6 minutes, Veil of Discord picked up with a bottle, and level 8 on the puck.
Holy crap, he's going up towards the top lane too. They want to go for the fight. The Observe Board will see this coming, but thanks to the fact that Solo and Roger are on the top lane, oh, they're already sending Solo back. Roger sacrificing himself once again. Lanham on point with the shards, locking in the Chen. So heavy commitment, but they're also killing off the Chen army. But this is buying time for Broodmother. Actually, it's not even really, like Broodmother's attacking the mid tower, but she's not sticking around.
She's doing it, it's all about the efficient play here. It's get the creep wave, go to the Ancients. Ancients give you the most amount of experience, so you always want to be abusing Ancients as a Broodmother.
You know, this is actually when I feel really happy. I mentioned it in game 2 about Ori's like hero pool. Like, I'm very happy to see him not on a Death Prophet, but having a hero where he can really start to style a little bit more. A Blink Dagger, a Veil this early on. This is a lot of kill potential. This is a lot of problems for heroes like the Witch Doctor who could just get picked, or heroes like Chen who, because they've spent so much time on the top lane, haven't found as many levels as they probably would have liked.
Yeah. Even Gyro can be susceptible to a lot of Magic Burst. Early on. Once you start getting a bit more items, it's a little less pressured, but we do see that rotation. Ori is going bottom, has the Veil. They've got the level 2 Illuminate.
They can try and fight no one before he can pick up those treads. He has the money for it, which he could buy from the side shop, but back behind the tower. And the Illuminate spam will keep pushing the creep wave under too. Lanham's coming down as well. So they leave Ramses alone. The fact that no one has come back to the mid lane, and I mean no one as in no one from ViCi Gaming, not no one.
You confused me too.
Yeah, I just thought I'd clarify it. Like, they know no one. Starts its TP up, stuns way too far away.
He went to base too. He went to go just pick up his treads. I think he wants
Top
to go
lane.
back to bottom.
Paparazzi, he's in trouble. Maledict, he knows he has to start regenerating and regenerating quickly. And he goes out to the shrine, so he has to go all the way home. Mid lane, Ramses will fall. Ori able to get that Dream Coil off, and then Young 11 just doing his work.
They're moving very well around the map, and like you said, I did like the point that you made, is 11 is pretty much strictly just playing this jungle and response game on the TPs, and they're giving so much focus onto Fenrir to get that farm on the Coddle.
But you were saying it in game 2, right? Like, it's always better when the Batrider is able to gain space, and ViCi Gaming, they didn't work out in game 2 how to give him that level of space, but in game 3, they're having a lot better time. Bottom lane, they're going after no one again. The snowball will protect, and they dive underneath the tower. Ori has the damage. And they have the kill on the gyro. He's actually he's hitting 5k net worth 9 minutes into this game on Ori.
An early Blink Dagger on both the Batrun and the Puck, they can really start to shut down Ramses a lot if he shows his face as the Broodmother.
I'm loving this deep push on top. Like, Fenrir has been like working so hard to ensure this top tower took a while, and with the Jakiro as well as the Chen, you expect the tower to fall very quickly. And prioritizing Liquid Fire Pasha, a 3-0-4 build, you know he was looking just to force down buildings. That's why the panel was like, they're playing a quick pace game, right? It's going to be push, push, push.
They don't want this game to go too late versus Terror Blade.
But the question is, can they just defend? Because right now, they're technically trading tier 1 for tier 1. The mid-tier 1 tower could potentially fall shortly after. But they just don't know where to fight. Like, Paparazzi's has gone jungle. All right, so Jakiro's going to come to mid and finish the job on the tier 1 tower there. Solo and Roger, under the cover of smoke, also looking for the opportunity. The Batrider's gone jungle. He's so close to the Blink Dagger. He doesn't want to die now. They'll rotate in. The Observer Ward's down. They don't see him on the other side of the trees. Now the ping does come. Batrider, he needs friends. He needs help. The Maledict, the Paralyzing Cask, won't bounce back down from the Centaur. So 11 has a fighting chance to move up and away. The Maledict, is that last tick? Yeah. The raindrop protection. Yeah. Goodbye.
With that Medallion plus Penitence, way too much damage from the right clicks coming out, just from even a Witch Doctor.
10-minute Blink Dagger for Ori. With Veil.
Absurdly farmed.
And he's got the 4-4 too.
Yeah, and it's going to be Ramses is going for a Orchid, so he is going to try to punish that Puck. I mean, he can kill any of the heroes on the map when he does have it.
Why am I just waiting for Paparazzi just to sunder a target with his current life trigger metamorphosis and find a kill? Ori back in again, got a 2-man silence, actually jaunted out to the lane. And rightly so. Is this around the time too where ViCi needs to start planning a ward around where Ramses is farming? Do they get that deep dire Observer Ward? Almost worth like a smoke gank and then leave the wards behind.
Probably when they have the Blink finished as well as with the Lasso skilled on 11, then they can start playing a bit more aggressively. Right now though, they're on the full defensive stance. Looking at their wards, they're just really trying to play in that reactive kind of movement. Ori can be a little bit more cocky with his movements, but the rest of them, they're just trying to farm up. They don't want to take the fights into VP's lineup.
Yep.
This time, though, it is different. No one is not the priority this game. As well, the last two, he was just giving all the stacks, all the farm as possible on this Gyrocopter. Now he's a bit more limited. It's all going to be about Ramses.
Yep. Ramses become the big man. Pasha to continue to add the pressure. And they're coming bottom, yeah. Paparazzi, he is very low. They need a good stun on him. Chain it off before he can get that Sunder. Paparazzi snowballed in. He's pushed back down the cliff. The Paralyzing Cask made it impossible. Deathward gets cancelled thanks to the Walrus Punch, but the damage with the Macropire. Ori, he's starting to burn. He has Phase Shift available. He's going to use it and then jaunt back up the lane, looking to get the regeneration. Solo chasing in deeper too. Lanham cannot stick around. He's got defensive shards available. Phase Shift doesn't actually dodge the dual breath. So difficult with the double pulse from it. And the Paralyzing Cask. Maybe VP go in deeper. Solo doesn't get caught by the shards. It would have given a chance for Young 11 to get that potential pick.
Did Ori misclick there? He blinked on top of himself.
I'd love to see the replay if we can then, production team.
I'm not sure if he was just trying to like disjoint, but he did blink right on top of himself. It actually got him killed, and that's a big net worth exchange there. Pasha getting quite a lot from that kill, and finding a regen rune bottom now, so they can continue this aggression that they've been doing.
Dire's bottom tower.
That's a very costly mistake.
Yeah, ViCi Gaming, they can't afford those. They were having the advantage. It was just shy of 3k gold advantage. They're battling for the wards. The experience actually levels. It's almost a flat 0 right now. 800 for the gold.
Yeah, they were able to get the 2 biggest cores on the side of ViCi.
They're going to 4-man smoke gank. They need to make the most out of this puck. Remember, she's still got the Dream Core to work with.
Highest net worth in all programs since TI5 on this puck.
I am
At
not
10
surprised
minutes.
at all.
No,
And they're coming
not.
to the bottom lane. They want to try and fight. They've got 2 perfect heroes, Solo and Pasha. Paparazzi, he was the bait at the beginning. Paralyzing Cast will cause some problems, but it won't matter when Ori can bring in such high levels of damage. 5 heroes from ViCi Gaming committed for this.
They get the pressure on with the first meta. They're gonna, with this meta down bottom, they're gonna be able to put a lot of damage on the tower, and they're gonna be able to put some aggressive wards down.
Yep, Jara's looking for a rebuttal. He's forcing in the top lane as quick as they possibly can. So let's have a quick look at this fight once more.
VP is doing Roche at the moment, but it doesn't look to be contested, so we can take a glance at this replay.
Yep. So Ori stands his ground in the middle of the entire fight. You already blinked in to start it, and then, yeah, jump away, drawn away, and that's the end of the fight.
This is the one where I think he blinks on top of himself. Yeah, he just blinked right there. He blinked right on top of himself when Solo was hitting him. I think he would have gotten away.
Must be that quick key. We can come back to the live right now. Pasha under attack as ViCi Gaming, they were forcing in the bottom lane. The call down was committed by the gyrocopter, and ViCi underneath the Radiant Shrine were ready to fight. They want to go for more. Lasso is not available, but they can just jump into Solo, making the most of all this magical pop. Solo cannot run away. And VG, really great positioning, fighting just in front of the shrine, so there was no way for VP to get the regeneration and away from the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, Pasha TP'd right in the middle of all of them there, and they were taking the rush, so that did seem like they kind of wanted to contest it, but they also wanted to do that distraction to make sure that the Broodmother could get that Aegis.
Yep, and she does have that. But what do you now do with this? Like, you just lost your tier 2 tower. It seems like VG are the ones being aggressive with the Blink Daggers arriving on the Bat Rider. More items on the way too, 4 staffs. I can't wait to see what we see from Ori as his next primary item. Oh, silence. Oh, that wasn't what he planned. Yulceptor may be the next one, and 4-staff is there from Fenrir. He's got so much money on this Coddle, and this is why you go 4-staff instead of Aghanims first on Coddle?
Yeah, the GH rule. That's what it seems to be, and he's also gone for a Glimmer Cape as well to protect himself versus that Broodmother. A lot of it is on Ramses now to find those pickoffs around the map, to either find the Coddle, find any single hero that's just playing by themselves.
I really expected more damage to be done by VP. Like, you've only taken 2 tier 1 towers in this game. You've got only one of the tier 2 towers below 50%.
Bottom lane.
Oh, they found him. They found the gyrocopter. Support is there in the form of Solo, but I don't know if he really wants to be here. Paralyzing Cask will come out, and it'll at least keep VG at bay for the moment as the send back.
Having these early double blinks is putting a lot of pressure on VP. Even if they have gotten that Aegis, they don't have that group up that they want to take versus ViCi because of how farmed this puck is.
And Ori's going to keep going. You see him instantly just spying up the parts for the Yulceptor. When that Orchid gets revealed, Ramsey's going to go in for his BKB as the next item. Make that Broodmother a nice team fighter. Give him something so he can battle under all the magical pop. Because the physical damage is still lacking. It's coming for Paparazzi, but it's still on the way.
ViCi just wants to continue playing as 4 as much as possible to give Paparazzi the space to farm.
They're going to fight. There's a regeneration room for Ori. Ramsey is farming on the cliff side, but it won't help you when they jump in. The Dream Coil will connect, and Ramsey's, he actually protects his Broodlings by sending them away. Aegis Immortal is what pops, so VG Gaming, they seem to be happy with this. They're on the way out. Homing Missile is chasing after 11. They need to try and get rid of that damn thing, but it won't happen. He's up on the hill and fine.
There isn't good catch for VP on the side of VP. They don't, it's pretty much like a cask. They don't have great ways to actually lock heroes down unless they're right on top of them. Once they've got higher levels of Ice Path and once they have the Yulceptor on Pasha, then they have good ways to actually keep people stunned and locked down inside those fights.
Hand of God being used so Chen doesn't lose his army to Ori. And Ori's having the time of his life. He keeps finding regeneration runes everywhere too.
Yeah.
All these activation runes and their action runes just because VP can't control the river. Every time they want to come over, they just don't know if they're going to get jumped on. Like, Pasha's attempting with the Ice Path, but until he has something like a Yules, he can't even set that up.
Yep.
And actually, I don't even know if he can if he, like, with the Blink Daggers, you Yules, you throw down the Ice Path, but Can you grab him?
They're really going to need that Yule Scepter to get any of those pickoffs. Yules plus BKB, then they can actually look to start taking some fights. The double BKB on both Noan as well as Ramses, but ViCi look to be in a very comfortable position here. They're making all the space in the world for Paparazzi to get massive, and we've seen what these Terrorblades can do.
Yep. Actually interesting to watch that shift of net worth too. So the puck is obviously looking for the fights while you have Paparazzi farming up. This has allowed the Broodmother to overtake. Obviously the Brood's going to do that anyway, just because Ramses is owning the mid lane as far as farm goes. Maybe not so much when he speeds that many Spiderlings to the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah.
That actually just went to buying up the point booster.
Fenrir did get like almost all of them there during that push, during that counter push. Orchid on Ancient.
Yep.
Just continuing to farm.
You've already got the Yule Scepter on the puck, so now there's a way around it. So there's 96 spiders have been killed in the space of 18 minutes.
That's close to their whole gold advantage.
Batrider's on the hunt. No Radiant Observer wards in this area, so they're accepting the fact they're losing their tier 1 tower. Up on top, and there's the Blink Lasso, catching Roger. They want to kill off this Chen nice and efficiently. Ice Path will make it difficult. Rolling Boulder, it's going to be Lanham going in deep. Snowball, sorry. And VP. Oh, that Dream Coil and the Blinding Light! A perfect 3-man stun. Ramses on the run. Reflections there. Pasha, he'll turn this fight around with a nice Ice Path into the Death Ward. With the Maledict combination, it's so much damage, but VP, they're still so far behind in this game, and VG are so far in front. 4 heroes down. The Gyro is on the run. Ori, the Blink Dagger, is still on cooldown for him. That bloody Harpy was causing problems.
That was...
So they still take the fight.
That was so sick by Fenrir and Ori, that combination play. They also even end up getting the Broodmother on the back lines because she didn't have the BKB finish, so the Flame Break by 11 was able to take her down. That was such perfect coordination.
So there was no time to even react to it. The second that Dream Coil snapped, so the Blinding Light. Now that's a fight we can watch again.
That was perfect, like literally just absolutely perfect the way it hit. It hit right in the middle of them, so it pushed them all into different directions. Ramses gets pushed onto the high ground. There's no way that they can counteract that this time around.
All right, let's see it. Let's see it. So the jump in, Ori waits. The big group up, the fresh TP in from Solo, and then boom and boom.
Like actually so perfect.
Yep. This is why VG Gaming are still, like the score doesn't really reflect the run they've had during this competition. Like they're still a bloody good team. Pasha, Dream Coil, he'll snap it himself with his own 4-staff, and the lasso, okay. They really want to bring down this Jakiro. He takes a lot to kill off, and Ramses makes his way forward. The Hand of God gives him a little bit of extra life. Pasha, he's still ticking out to the Flame Break. He may, oh, the last tick! He had 3 stacks of sticky napalm on him, and the Flame Break, thanks to the buff, however many patches to go, there's enough damage to get the kill.
Full Aghanims finished on Roger. He's been spending a lot of the time farming in this game, since they aren't really actually able to group up and take advantage versus ViCi. He just is prioritizing having that Axe.
Kind of surprising that he's managed to find that much when they're still trying to give more over to no one and the Broodmother. Like, where is all this space coming from on the map?
It's also because the Pasha's died 4 times now, so he's been giving all that space because of how much time he's been dead off the map.
Ori's gone full assassination build.
Is it Dagon?
It's the Dagon.
He can actually find pickoffs pretty easily on quite a lot of the heroes on VP.
Yep. And VG's getting so many answers to control. Like another Yule Scepter is on the way for the Batrider.
Yep. So
this Orchid pickup from the Broodmother is going to be very ineffective. A quick blink before the Ice Path can connect. Again, another very Telegraph-style stun, just like the Nyx from before.
This time VP is under a hell of a lot of pressure. The last 2 games, they had vision almost everywhere across the map. This time, look at that. They've got both their wards just playing around the mid lane, just absolutely defensive.
Oh, that Terrorblade's getting so huge.
Yeah. BKB already finished up. Now Paparazzi can get involved inside the fights.
Quick blink. Ari's away. No one's not going to get anything from this just yet. And they smoke up, but they're underneath that Radiant Observer ward, so VP very well aware of VG's intentions. And they're doing a full wrap around. They're hoping for a target. This is why Broodmother and the Black Dragons are on the other side, so they break it. Up they jump. Blink Lasso, find the target on the Broodmother. He did get his BKB off, so they don't have the damage just yet. Paparazzi, he's got Sunder available, but needs a good target not to get silenced as they're waiting for it. His own BKB swaps life with Ramses, and Ramses takes the fall. Witchdog doesn't have any support either because he's gone down. No one's BKB protects him, but there was no follow-up damage. They wait inside the snowball as the orb from Ori. He'll jump in further forward. So much damage, such great coordination from ViCi. Roger goes down. Pasha will join him. No! The send back from Chen will end up saving.
They've got no way to keep their targets in one position. As soon as the BKB gets popped by Paparazzi especially, they've got no way to just focus fire that Terrorblade down. Having that minimal catch is really punishing them right now. And ViCi constantly with this aggression. They just jump in the back lines. Solo dies instantly in that fight as a Witch Doctor.
Yep. It's one of the few games when Solo is not like, well, he was the instigator on the bottom lane time and time again in the first 5 minutes, but after Ori started his rotations, then this game has just changed. And it's all going the way of ViCi Gaming.
It's looking quite scary now for VP. This Coddle is getting bigger and bigger, halfway to that Aghanim Scepter, level 15.
20 seconds till Roshan. Then we're going to have that time. Who will get the better engagement? Who will have the better fight? You've got a long time for Paparazzi before he's got the Metamorphosis back up again. But then again, could VP even slip in and take Roshan? Obviously, the Broodmother is very powerful to do it, but up against the Batrider, up against already a superior team fight of VG?
It is going to be very scary. They don't have these clear-cut initiators on the side of VP either. Like in most of their situations, they do have somebody who can start the fight. Now, it's ViCi having just much better heroes for that. With the Puck and the Batrider, VP's like, they just have to kind of walk in and make the fight happen through that, and they have to sheer sustain it through ViCi's lineup.
And they got the better vision game too.
Yep.
Oh, the Shards solo. Pasha will force off him up the hill, but it's 11 who's picked up the Gem of True Sight. They see so much, and again, it's Solo, the one they focus on. He avoids the cooldown, he avoids the ice path. The Shards will hold Solo in position once more. Paralyzing Cask. Holding, 11, Roshan, their best buddies until the Dream Call. No one BKB's up. 11 wants to get the hell out of there. It won't happen yet. He has to be protected. Jumps up, and VG, they're on the retreat. Blinding Light makes it difficult for VP to keep following up, and maybe with the BKB, nope, the Yosef sends him up, and more force-ups. Keep retreating, the Shard block. VP, they can't even walk around it. They can Door Breath. Lanham, another snowball protection. That'll help him for a moment. He'll have to wait the maximum amount of time, goes back into it. He is kind of lost to the world of the living. 11 wants the grab. He doesn't have the lasso available anymore, but they're all getting out. They're mana leaking on the ancient columns. Just stick away from Roshan when a paralyzing cask is there. That control time was just so long on 11.
Defensive Force Theft, defensive Glimmers. Everything coming out there from ViCi, pulling themselves away from that bad fight that could have turned against them. The BKBs now are on cooldown for VP though. A little bit of a peak for ViCi to look for an engagement. They even have a DD inside of Paparazzi's bottle. Well, Ori's bottle, but Paparazzi has it. BKB Manta as well. They could actually look for the Roche themselves with those BKBs on cooldown for VP.
Possible. Double damage Metamorphosis. Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna wait till their Tusk respawns at least.
Bring the Sigil into the fight.
They've got the gem, as you were mentioning, on 11, so they can clear out all the vision that VP does have, and you see him running around right now looking for him.
It is kind of crazy, too, the fact that 11 was able to survive through all of this. Because if he did go down, that it wasn't just him dying, it was the fact that Gem of True Sight would have been lost. An Arcane Rune for the Terrorblade. All right, life's getting even easier right now for VG. And the jump, Batrider doesn't find its right target. Ice Path, Dual Breath, Fenrir wants to help out. Blinding Light forces them all away. A quick defensive Your Scepter and Puck goes in deep. The Paralyzing Cast not doing enough, but it's all about the Terrorblade. Stander on the cliffside, bounding towards Roger. He has enough damage for him. Ramses did pick up the Tuskar in the back, however, and the Dream Coil. Oh, no, it's too much. Paparazzi has so much damage with that DD route. I don't even know why VP want to stick around, try and fight this one, but they don't have a choice. When they get sharded in like that, they want to go deeper. Pasha, Ramses, the Sunder, it just cripples him so hard. The lasso onto no one. There's no way to fight back. There's no real control. There's no real answer to these VG cores. And now they can go and do Roshan under no stress.
Yep. Still got, yeah, DD does wear out, but they do have the damage to clear this one out with the remainder of the meta. again, though, they tried to do the combo there again instantly. As soon as the coil goes down, Fenrir throws down the blinding light, and they almost connected it on 3 heroes again. It just seems like VP's unable to actually keep on a single target here from ViCi because of all the defensive plays coming out. The Force Stab, the Snowball, the Glimmer.
He actually burned the Hand of God to try and keep the Black Dragon alive. That's the level of desperation you're kind of feeling, Pasha. Macro Pyre through Roshan, but the shards! Damn, Lanham, just so good. The Snowball up, they wanted to go towards the Witch Doctor. Solo just being flipped like a pancake. He'll take a fall, and VP, they're clutching at straws to try and stop this. And GG, well played indeed. VG Gaming, they turn it around in the best of 5 grand final. They'll claim game 3 and avoid the VP clean sweep.
Ori played like a beast this game. Absolutely ridiculous puck performance. Only 1 death, 4-1 and 17, 260 last hits by the 27-minute mark. I'm very surprised how well he actually did versus Ramsey's mid, and then their other lanes, they pulled off really well. I did like you mentioned, the rotation from 11, he went to the jungle, so they prioritized getting Fenrir those defensive items. He gets the Force Staff, gets the Glimmer Cape, so then they're not really at risk of getting picked off by this Broodmother who went that Orchid. Such good movement coming out from ViCi this game.
Yeah, it really was, and I still feel like so much of that is down to Ori. Like,
yeah,
you could have looked at all the other lanes, but the fact that Ramsey's, like, we've seen him already in this competition destroy mid lanes. And it's like, well, what is the answer to this? That was the question. Like, and the only answer most people came up with was like 5th ban Broodmother every single time. And I was like, I think I have a different idea about this. Give me a magical burst damage hero. I go aggressive, and he really got Ramsey. He shut down so many of these early Spiderlings. There was no just run at you Spiderling harass, going the no phase shift point, all Rift, all Orb. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
The offensive build coming out from him, and then they didn't really allow VP's lineup to do what they wanted to do, which was get that first Aegis, take all the towers, group up, and just kind of mow them down. ViCi just kept splitting them up, and they have such hard elusive heroes when they do get those defensive Force Staffs and Glimmers that VP can't actually lock a target down well.
And I cannot wait to see what happens. Is this going to be the spice for VG Gaming to take that fire into game 4? I kind of hope so. I want to see a full series in this grand final.
Let's go 5.
Let's go 5.
Let's go 5 indeed. I'm with you, boys. I'm absolutely with you. Good game from ViCi Gaming. They've come back. They've pulled 1 back. They've still got 2 more to go, of course, in this best of 5. Caught us out a little bit by the early GG. We were talking on the way back, Kevin. It was kind of inevitable, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when you draft a Chen, and it's not always over, but if you're against a Terrorblade, and you have a Gyrocopter who's not been doing so hot all game, and your Brute didn't completely stomp his lane as per usual, then yeah, it's eventually going to end like that when they get an Aegis.
Do you think it's okay that they've kind of cut their losses early and just, let's not chase this game, let's not wear ourselves out, it's a long series, plenty of chances to get back into it?
100%. I think they lost it in the mid matchup. Puck did this, They put Puck mid, he went all orb, all silence, he built a super fast Veil, and as soon as he gets that, he can kill an entire creep wave or an entire infinite stack of spiders, and when he's at that point, Brood is a regular hero.
And enabled by the Tusk to start too. I think that was pretty important as well. I do think it was VP also experimenting a little bit with the Jakiro. So I was really confused by it.
Yeah.
And
the off lane.
By the time I got back, I sat down and I was actually talking to Trempax, and we kind of talked it out. And it was an interesting idea. I think it was meant to replace the Beastmaster and the Sand King when it comes to a tanky offlaner that goes and he fights and he shoves out his wave, right? So then the Chen can take advantage of that. But the problem is that the Sand King and the Beastmaster and the Omni Knight, they all enable the Gyrocopter. And Jagiro, unfortunately, doesn't really do that for you. He's not really the best frontliner in the world, nor does he buff up the Gyrocopter and make him that fearless hero that the Omni Knight does with the repels. So, you know, I think that experiment was definitely a failure. Other than that,
Okay.
I think VP are just still going to be feeling like, okay, we tried, that's all right.
Sure.
Like, we didn't have to change our strategy this whole entire time. Now we're finally going to have to go another direction.
On the other hand, Alan, you don't want to give ViCi too many opportunities to do well, because they will take them.
Yeah, so it's rare for me to really disagree with Cap, but I think I'm going to go against you here. I think the 2 things that happen, number one, as we talked about in the first two drafts, I think a lot of their preparation for VP was built around the idea that VC's probably not going to pick this Terrorblade, and they got caught out with a 4th pick TB in a lineup where they had very little hard disable. I mean, you could see in several of these fights as the game went on, they just had no way to stop the Sunder, right? I mean, TB would just walk up to the Brood would hit with her lifesteal up, all of a sudden TB's low health, Brood's high, and there's no way that you're going to protect that Brood in that fight. And the other thing that happened, the 5th pick Brood, I thought about it as the draft was going on, and I'm saying that it's very, very difficult to dodge a puck lane, right? Puck can play in any 3 games in most lineup, in any 3 lanes in most lineups. So it's very hard for this Brood to not be up against a puck in lane. ViCi, it's one of their few flex picks, so they have 2 cores that can play it. And if Puck ends up in a lane against Brood, Puck is one of the few heroes that can usually do that, right? The build is a little unconventional, but what you're saying is not that unusual in that Puck Brood matchup. So I think that was a little bit of a 2-0 YOLO pick for VP. Let's call a spade in the spirit of the first couple of games. I think they kind of wanted to play their Brood Mother because it's a hero that Ramses really likes. I think they got caught by those 2 things, and that, again, when you have 2 teams playing at this level, 2 things happen and it makes you look really bad.
What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, it's the Brood getting shut down. It's as a hero in the meta, in this tournament at least, it's a hero that needs to go crazy and snowball hard and win his lane by a lot, and that didn't happen. And I think Old 11 played amazing, constantly getting great initiations, causing space. Solo did fine as well, but he started getting killed repeatedly, and the game was just really easy for ViCi at that point. So.
Okay. I think some more from you after the break, which is where we're heading next. Of course, don't go too far away because Game 4 will be just around the corner. Just a quick reminder for you, the MVP is still open right now. MVP by Mercedes-Benz. Who will win that trophy? We'll find out tonight as well. But you can still vote, so if anyone's persuaded you from the first 3 games, maybe it was 11 in that last game, you can go and cast your vote right now. Right, we are headed off to a break. When we come back, though, draft number 4 will be here. Can ViCi Gaming do the impossible and come back from 2-0 down to claim the title? We'll find out shortly.
The other side, so they break it. Up they jump. Blink Lasso, find the target on the Brood Mother. He did get his BKB off. They don't have the damage just yet. Paparazzi, he's got Sunder available, but he's a good target not to get silenced as they're waiting for it. His own BKB swaps life with Ramses, and Ramses takes the fall. Which Doctor doesn't have any support either because he's gone down. No one's BKB protects him, but there was no follow-up damage. They wait inside the snowball as the orb from Mori. He'll jump in further forward. So much damage, such great coordination from ViCi. Roger goes down. Pasha will join him. Not